You've probably spent your whole life thinking about your hair as, something you style or try to control. But what if I told you that's not its real job? Today, we are stripping away all of that, all the cosmetic stuff, to look at the raw survival science that's sitting right on top of your head.
That's right. Every single thing your hair does, the way it gets shiny, or maybe the way it frizzes or how it curls, it's all the result of this ancient engineering project. And it was designed for one thing and one thing only: keeping your ancestors alive.
So, let's dive into this incredible story that's literally written into your DNA. We're about to decode the biological record that you've been carrying around with you every single day of your life.
Think of it like this. Every strand of your hair is like an evolutionary receipt. It's a record of everything your ancestors went through to survive, the climates they faced, the challenges they overcame. It's all right there. So let's unroll this receipt and see what secrets it's holding. All right, first up, we're going to look at what I like to call the mutant scarf. And yeah, if you've got straight hair, you are definitely going to want to listen to this.
And I mean that in the absolute coolest way possible. You see, for most of human evolution, back when our earliest ancestors were in equatorial Africa, straight hair it didn't exist. The original human hair was all about cooling down, not staying warm.
But as you can see here, everything changed when humans started migrating north. Nature basically took a look at the freezing cold of the Ice Age and said, nope, you guys are going to need some built-in protection. So this mutation happened, causing hair to lie flat, which traps body heat right against your neck and head, just like a permanent scarf.
Now, this mutation also came with a really fascinating mechanical advantage. We call it the sebum highway. You see, the straight structure of the hair creates this direct, super fast path for your scalp's natural oils to travel all the way to the ends. And that is what creates that signature effortless gloss.
But, every evolutionary superpower comes with a modern-day trade-off. So on one hand, you've got that amazing built-in insulation and that incredible shine. But on the other hand, that super efficient oil highway means you're in a constant battle with grease. And its whole heat-trapping design, well, that makes getting volume a real challenge. It's brilliant survival gear for sure, just with a few modern quirks.
Okay, so let's jump to the complete opposite end of the spectrum and look at the original human hair tech. If straight hair is a heat trap, then coily hair is a highly advanced, built-in cooling system.
This texture actually evolved to solve a massive engineering problem back in sub-Saharan Africa. How do you protect the brain from the scorching sun, but at the same time, let body heat escape so you don't get fatal heat stroke? The answer is just brilliant geometry.
So the absolute key here is this concept called loft. The tight coils make the hair stand up and away from the scalp, and that creates a breathable buffer of air. This right here is the secret to its incredible performance.
And you can see just how it's built. It all starts with the follicle. See, unlike the round follicle you get with straight hair, this one's shaped more like a kidney bean. That shape forces the hair to grow out at an angle, and then twist into that spring-like coil, which automatically creates that life-saving loft.
So what's the result? Well, the dense coils act like a parasol, blocking UV rays, while that loft lets air flow right through to cool the scalp. And get this, the dryness you might experience at the ends, that's actually an evolutionary feature. Heavy oils would trap heat, so by keeping the ends light and dry, the hair maintains that critical cooling air gap. So we've seen the two extremes, right? The heat trap and the cooling system. But as humans spread out all over the globe, their hair had to adapt to all the climates in between. So now let's look at these evolutionary midpoints, wavy and curly hair.
Wavy hair is just the perfect example of an evolutionary compromise. It grows from an oval-shaped follicle, which is what creates that gentle S pattern. This structure is basically a bridge. It provides some lift for airflow when it's warm, but not so much that it loses all of its insulating power. It's perfectly built for those temperate zones.
Now, it's really important to distinguish curly hair from wavy or coily. Curly hair forms a very distinct corkscrew shape that comes from a curved follicle, and this spiral shape gives it a pretty unique function that goes beyond just temperature control. It basically acts like a set of antennae.
This table breaks it down perfectly. Wavy hair actually responds to humidity dynamically. It expands to give you more coverage in damp conditions. Curly hair, on the other hand, creates this sensory perimeter around your head, so it can detect things like insects before they even reach your skin. And that chaotic airspace it creates, perfect for helping sweat evaporate in humid tropical climates. But wait, there's one final piece to this whole puzzle. One more thing that customizes your own personal survival gear, and that is the thickness of the individual hair strands themselves.
Yeah, think of this as the final setting on your gear. Thick hair strands. They're wider, they're stronger. They're the ultimate armor for cold, windy places because they hold on to warmth so well. Fine hair is the exact opposite. The strands are lighter, they dry way faster, and they release heat easily, which is incredibly efficient in a warm, humid climate.
And this is where you really see nature's genius, when you combine the shape and the thickness. Fine curly hair? It's perfect for a hot climate. It blocks the sun, but lets heat escape easily. Thick, straight hair? That's the ideal gear for a cold one. It traps warmth and physically blocks the wind. It's a perfectly engineered system.
So after all of this, the real question is for you. I want you to look at the hair on your head, not as some fashion choice, but as a piece of your history. A tool. Which piece of high-performance survival gear did your ancestors pass on to you?